Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. As you can see, it's a rainy day. It's a spring rain shower coming through here, and today in this video is going to be a miscellaneous fixing type day. We got the starter on the M to put on, then we also have some fixing to do here in the barn. We got to fix a snapper on one of the stalls, and then Dad's got a milk machine to look at too. So hope you guys enjoy the video.
And if you beat the thread up, it stops undoing it.
Homemade lock nuts, that's what that is.
I suppose if it gets real damp again, then the latch will get tight, and we'll just have to reef it back. But right now, if a cow scratches her head on it, they end up opening it by itself.
Yeah, we don't want that. You said you got to work on a milk machine. You said you got something wrong.
Yeah,
with
I gotta take something apart here.
I'm gonna put that stall lock back together quick, and then I'll come over there. Like Dad was saying, we just let the cows in, and they got a shower, so they were very eager to come back in. They weren't out very long. Once we got the barn prepped, they came racing back in. Definitely a cold rain. It's not a summer rain. This is good though for the cows. Kind of cleans the dust off their back, getting them nice and ready for spring. There we go. Now you're all tied in. Good to go.
See, this is the pulsator. It was working yet, but it was making a funnier noise, like air's leaking past. You know, a little something, I don't know where that would even have came from. Must, you know, maybe if the air hose got pulled off, you know, with a kicking heifer or something, and a piece of straw gets in there. And then what happens is these pins, you know, they'll alternate. That'll make your pulse. But that's supposed to seal up in here. So anyway, I think I got one more doing that. But the problem is when you got 8 units, they all look the same. You have to almost kind of make a note which one it is. So anyway, simple fix, but that way the pulse isn't quite 100% for her. This is what we do when it rains. If you don't do this, if you start ignoring all these little things, pretty soon you got dozens of them like that. And it just makes farming more miserable.
Yeah, you're gonna hate your day because you're just working with junk all day.
There's always those things that happen, or anyway, there's enough of that anyway. You got to take a little time out here and there, even like a gate or something. You know, a gate is off the hinges, well, one.
Yeah, or even having a gate that's balanced right to where it stays there when you open it or something.
There's
like
so
that.
many little things, because we've done that too. I seen one place we were where that was down south. They didn't have no snow, but they had like a rod on the end. It slipped through like some eyelets, and it would kind of scratch onto the ground. So if you open it, you kind of set it so the wind don't blow it shut when you're trying to move cattle or do whatever. Little things like that. Yeah, well, this is the different one. Now this one isn't working on the one side. Now I don't know. I gotta get a flashlight, get down in there. I don't think this one pulses at all on the one side. I think we can get a kit for all this, replace all the rubber parts. Otherwise, it could be something with the wiring. You know, they're only, what, this is like a 90, I think these came out in like 96, 95. We bought ours in 99, and then I ended up getting a few of them. I think 2 or 3 I got from a guy that quit here, about 10 years ago. We're gonna see, maybe something fell out of there that I couldn't find. Let's see here, let's see if we can slip that in there. Probably end up losing all my parts here and stuff.
Yes, that one side still ain't pulsing. So he's wiggling it there, and then it went again. Yeah, now it's working. Maybe something was just loose and wasn't sealing in there.
Yeah, that's the thing with this stuff. Like I said, they're not new. It could even be the wiring. I mean, I don't know if this is like a solenoid or what that is inside that, but there's nothing I can take apart there. We got some extra ones, but I'm kind of got a lot of the main parts rubbed off already.
Okay, Dad's gonna finish putting them back together. Happy to see that we got them both working, at least for now. I'm gonna move on to the next project. We've had the part here for a while. If you guys have paid attention, you know that on that straight M, the starter is bad. So I'm gonna gather up some tools and bring that new starter down to our other shed and put that on the M. So far it's been a really nice light rain. It hasn't come down too heavy. It's not a complete washer yet here, but it's supposed to rain for the next day or so. Looks like he's already got one of the posts disconnected. Okay, I gotta find where he left the hardware. There's supposed to be bolts that thread into that guy. I'm not seeing them. Hopefully they didn't venture too far away. Might be able to find something that would work, but hate to try to make something work for that. Maybe these, well, they seem kind of long, don't they? But they do have red paint on them. I thought I remember them being something like this, something short and stubby. Take a closer look on the other side here. Otherwise we might be running back up there to get some bolts. Looks like I'm gonna have to run back up to the yard and grab some bolts. Maybe they're laying on the bench up there somewhere. Dad thought he left them down here with the tractor. That's what I would have done, but I ain't seeing them. I'll take another good look around here, but I have a feeling they're not down here. Yeah, no luck. On my way back to the farmyard. Good thing we're not too far away. Just get the right stuff and make it work. While we're on the move, I want to remind you guys, if you haven't already, to check out GierokFarms.com. We sell hats on there. I did sell some cowbells, and we'll be selling some other items here in the future. So if you want to see some more Gierok Farms content along with some of the items we're selling, go check us out at GierokFarms.com. It's our very own website. Just know that everything we have on the site is handled by myself or my wife. So just know that you're not dealing with a bigger third-party company. You're dealing with us. Back and ready for action. Think I found the right size. Update, the rain has picked up. I guess I might have spoke too soon about it being a nice light rain. When it comes to them bolts, the size I had was just a bit too small. I got it all the way threaded in and I thought it was tightening up, but no. And I don't think I messed up the block, thankfully, just spinning back out of there. And then I was doing some investigation work, went and talked to Mason. It was like, hey, did you pull the old starter off of this? He's like, no, Dad did that. So then I had to go find Dad in the house, quiz him. He couldn't remember if he left them by the tractor here or by the old starter. So I was looking there, and he's thinking that they probably got thrown in our miscellaneous bolt container. So instead of searching through that, he recommended just going out to that old M we got out there resting out on pasture. You guys have seen that off in the distance if you paid attention to the older videos. And found these. They were threaded in there hand tight, just barely in there. So he must have had to pull the old starter off of there or something. And I think we're getting lucky that the first one I had, that threaded in nice. And then now just to get this other one out of there, like I said, I don't think I messed anything up because I was pretty leery going in. I didn't think it was right the further I got in there, but I don't think I was stripping anything out either. So fingers crossed this guy comes out and everything threads in nice there, especially being the threads are on the block or the housing on the tractor. We don't want to mess that up. I don't want to have to re-tap something like that. That would be a pain in the neck. There we go, we got that all tightened up. I think we got lucky there. We'll see here. We gotta start it yet first. It looks like must have ripped the ground cable off when he was working here, so maybe we can try to pinch that in that clamp here before we leave. Make that a bit more permanent. I don't know what we got going on. It sounds like the starter's not disengaging, or maybe one of them bolts are a bit too long and it's rubbing on something in there. Not exactly sure. And also, I don't know if our switch is bad. When I went to put the positive cable on it, it tried to start it, which is pretty spooky. So maybe our solenoid here and switch or something might be going out there. The switch and everything up here is what separates the power from the battery from sending power to the starter. So that was kind of spooky. So maybe this button was stuck on when I went to send power to it, then it revved up the starter. We might have something going on there. It's never the really big complicated projects that seem to take forever. It's always these simple ones, especially on a day like today. It's just, but at least we got time for it on a day like today. Took everything apart, got it checked over. I don't think our bolts were the problem. I think it was just up in this switch here. I think this switch stayed on for some reason. Maybe that's part of the reason that old starter was going bad. That could be. We'll have to keep an eye on that here, but now I'm pivoting and moving on to this ground cable. I think I'm gonna take this guy apart, spread him apart, and kind of shove him up in there and clamp him in there good. Dad just had a vice grip down here holding them on. We should come up with something a little better than that. Ended up saying the heck with making that old one work. We just went and got a new one. Luckily we had one up in the shop. I'm gonna try starting it up here again and see if we can get that switch to act up. I think we're okay. I think everything's good. Dad asked that I unhook the power, being it's gonna sit here for a while. Doesn't want any problems, especially being that this is in shed away from home in case something were to happen. We're not gonna see it right away. So it's nice to have that project done. Let's pick up our tools and head back up to the farmyard there. And it looks like the rain stopped just in time for me to be done running around outside. It stopped. Now I'm back in the yard. I want to go check on the cattle and show you guys that calf that was born yesterday. This is the one that Mason and I helped pull. Her and her mom are tucked away in the shed here, all nice and dry. Mom's still doing good, and the new heifer calf is obviously already standing and walking around on its own. Dad just cleaned out this pen this morning, being she just had her calf laid down a new fresh dry layer, which is really important, especially in these spring months, just to prevent any diseases like scours from occurring. We want our calves to stay as healthy as possible, and the drier and cleaner the better. Right. I'm excited to see this number 11 in the barn and how she does. She definitely is a bigger heifer compared to the rest of them, but she doesn't seem too wild, so I think her transition to the dairy barn will go okay. As for everybody else, they're all relaxing in here. They just got rearranged too recently. We're not seeing anybody get bullied or separated from the group. It seems like everybody's doing okay. And the bull, he's doing good. He's definitely put on some size compared to a couple months ago. He's putting some weight on. His head's getting really big now. Still shorter, which is okay. It's definitely not optimal though for those bigger cows, being he's shorter, but it'll be interesting to see what his offspring provides when it comes to their height. He might be producing calves that fit really well in a smaller barn like ours. Seems like everybody's okay in there. I wonder where those ducks ended up. We'll see what they're up to in this duck weather-like day. They're all playing way down in the waterway there. It's cool to see them being comfortable with venturing off further and not just sticking to the farmyard. I am going to end off the video there. It has been a really nice rain day here on the farm. Got some fixing done. Gave you guys a little update on the livestock. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking to the end. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and share the video with your friends. It helps us out a lot. And as always, we will see you next time.